We good?
Yeah, mate.
Alright.
Shut that off.
I'll do the clappers.
Alright.
When did you get the clapper?
When du schon ganz klar.
Okay, that should be alright.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We've been away.
Yeah, welcome everybody to the first ever, we're calling it a pilot episode, aren't we?
Yeah, so we've got no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, you don't know what we're doing. We've already had to record we've had to ditch the first 10 minutes of this because technical problems. Hopefully this will go better. So we're calling this Ben and John Talk Cars.
Yeah.
Podcast. We're going to do a weekly podcast from now on. The channel's been pretty quiet for a while. Since kind of pre-COVID, we haven't really done any consistent uploads since pre-COVID. We fucked up all the old videos because they're all straight.
Yeah, if you look at our YouTube channel, there's literally 6 videos on there.
Yeah.
There's only 6 that we like, and 5 of them are NC500.
Yeah. So we thought we'd get podcasting again.
Yeah.
So episode 1 of Ben and John Talk Cars. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll talk a bit more about the channel later. But anyway, so what are we going to talk about today? There's a few things that I want to cover, but what are you thinking?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with the flow.
Good start. I love going with the flow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's probably a good idea to touch base on where we're at, what we're doing.
What, mentally in our life?
Mentally not well. In terms of what we've been up to car wise.
Okay, so I recently bought a car.
You have.
Let's start with that. So we're going to do a little video on it, which should be out in a couple of weeks.
Spoiler, it's not a supercar.
No, it's not. It's nothing exciting. It's
a Volvo XC70.
I bought a 2004 Volvo XC70. The reason being, I had a bit of a smash in my company car last summer, which wasn't pleasant. But so because of that, company car got written off. I was without a car for a while. Now I've got a couple of cars in the garage.
Yeah. So
I could use a few. Because it was summer, for a couple of months, I used the Volvo 244, the 240, which was lovely. That was a nice way to get about. Summer, sun was out, wasn't much rain around.
Cruising around.
Just cruised about for a month or two in that, which was just really nice because I needed a bit of a reset after the smash. It wasn't a pleasant one.
No.
It shook me up quite a bit. So yeah, driving the 244 around, just cruising about nice and steady, nice and slow, enjoying the drive.
Yeah.
So that was fine. Then when the autumn started kicking in, I didn't really want to carry on using it as the weather was getting bad. So I thought, fuck it, I've got the Lexus on the driveway. I'll use the drift car.
Ghetto drift car.
That wasn't very nice. That really wasn't pleasant. No. I thought it's only for a couple of months until my new company car arrives.
Bad idea, dude.
It was a bad idea. I should have bought this XC70. I should have bought something similar in September or October time.
Before the winter came. So you could cruise around the winter in comfort with good fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
Has it got heated seats?
It does have heated seats.
Does your Lexus have heated seats though?
Yeah, but they're not actually as good as the Volvo.
Oh, there you go. So better fuel efficiency, more comfort, less to worry about because it's not falling apart around you.
I want to talk about daily driving that Lexus for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was a fucking nightmare.
I can't imagine doing that.
It was horrible. I don't know whether this is an age thing as well. I reckon I probably could have handled it when I was
18, 19.
I would have had a great time.
I would have loved to have daily that back.
Yeah, I probably would have written it off.
100%.
But so this Lexus, if you haven't seen it, we're going to do an update video on that soon as well because we did an introduction video on it when we first bought it 9 months ago, 9 months ago.
A little while.
And there's a few things have been done to it since then. But basically, GS430, so 4.3 V8, the 3UZ. It's got a 5-speed BMW swap in it, so manual gearbox, welded diff, coilovers. To be fair, the coilovers aren't that bad because they're quite soft. They're a bit too soft for drifting, which we found out.
Yeah.
But for road use, the coilovers actually was fine. But just all the bushes are knackered. It's the welded diff at the back. It's just everything knocks and rattles and stuff, and the diff is horrific. I chewed up the driveway, the pavement outside my driveway quite bad. Have you seen it?
What, from dragging the
wheel? So where I had to reverse onto the driveway every day, I've chewed up the pavement quite bad.
Really?
Yeah. I'm hoping that it's just going to recover.
What do you mean?
Well, because you can see it's all scratched up. It's not great.
Scratched up with what? Underside of the car?
No, the diff. The
Well,
wheels.
as it's...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so honestly, for a while, it was bad. It was really bad. You could see there were just two massive sort of graze marks, from when I reversed onto the driveway and the other one from when I was leaving in the morning, where you could just see, it was a carnage.
You got to take a photo of that.
Yeah, I'll try. Again, with all the rain and stuff that we've had recently, hopefully it's washed away, but it wasn't a good look.
I mean, that car, just generally, in your neighbourhood is like, it's quite a nice cul-de-sac.
It's pleasant, yeah.
But the houses are quite close, which
Yes.
means sound echoes and
I had a couple
bounces off the buildings.
I've got a group chat with like a load of my next door neighbours. There were quite a few sarcastic comments in that. It's been like, "Oh, you had a late night, Ben, coming home at midnight." Yeah, no rear no back boxes, no silencers.
I suppose in the morning going to work as well.
Going to work.
Cold starts.
Yeah, the cold start is brutal and that. Then the alarm issue happened.
Yeah, talk us through that, mate.
So I don't know how this started, but a while ago, not long after we got it, it started doing this thing where the alarm would randomly go off. I think it was triggered by rain. So obviously water's getting in somewhere and confusing or whatever, I don't know. But the alarm would go off randomly, and then you'd sort of go and there'd be a constant like little beep. Not like a loud alarm beep, but just like a little beep.
What? Outside the car or inside?
Beep, like under the bonnet.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on with that? But it was always once it would rain, it would start doing that. You disconnect the battery for 15-20 minutes, then it'd be fine until it rained again.
Weird.
Obviously, coming into winter, it's raining quite a lot.
Yeah.
And to be fair, for a couple of months, it didn't do it at all. And then one day, it just went fucking apeshit. Just wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. And I discovered this because it was about 11 o'clock in the evening. And I was just getting ready it was a Tuesday or Wednesday night or whatever. I was getting ready for work. And
what, in your house?
In my house. Not really getting ready for work, so getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I just heard this alarm going off. And bearing in mind, obviously you've seen my driveway. It's not in front of the house or directly next to it. It's one house over.
Yeah. One space over.
It's
because
it's one house over and it's one space over.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's quite well insulated from my house. So I just heard this alarm going off as I was like washing up my cup of tea or whatever that I had before I went to bed. I just thought to myself, oh fucking hell. I bet that's the fucking Lexus. So I got my little flip flops on. I was in my not pajamas.
Nighttime wear.
I was in my evening wear.
Yeah.
So I had like joggers on and an old shitty t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I went out, I put some flip flops on, went outside, and it had stopped by this point, but it was doing that beep.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's like a ticking time bomb. It is going to happen again. So I'm like, shit, okay. So I go out there with the key. The alarm immediately starts going off. As soon as I get to the car, it starts going off. It's like it knew.
What time at night is this?
This is after 11. This is probably about 20 past 11 at this stage.
Okay, not good.
Not good. Alarm starts going off. And again, so my driveway, as you know, is kind of it's boxed in on three sides.
It's like an amplifier.
Yeah, so it's got wall on one side,
sound amplifier.
Wall on the other side, and then the garage is behind.
Yeah.
And so it's literally like a speaker box.
Yeah.
And again, as you know, at night time when there's no noise pollution,
it's fucking loud.
Car alarms are so loud.
Yeah.
So I'm going out there, it starts going mental. And I'm like, fucking hell. So I figured, fine, I've got the key in my hand, press unlock. The car unlocks, but the alarm keeps going. So the alarm's going off constantly. I'm like opening and shutting the door and fucking
Sorry.
locking up. Oh shit. And at this point I'm thinking someone's going to call the fucking police.
Yeah, it's thinking that car.
Yeah, someone's trying to nick that fucking car. So in the end I'm just like, I just need to get it the fuck out of here. So I get in the car and drive off with the alarm going off. Like something out of fucking Grand Theft Auto.
Definitely stealing that car.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
And was it continuously going off as you're driving down the road?
To be fair, it stopped after about 10-15 seconds of me actually driving the car. So the alarm went off, and then by the time I got to the entrance to my road, it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
So I was like, fucking hell. So I drove a little bit of the road, that little road that goes down to the railway place by my house. So I was like, right, I'm just going to stop it there. I was like, I'm just going to have to leave the battery off one night. I was like, but it was going off so much, I was like, I don't think I'm going to have time to park it in my house and disconnect the battery. And I really don't want the alarm to go off with the bonnet up.
Oh yeah.
Because at this point it's 11:30.
That'd be loud.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it. So I drove down to the little railway place, turned it off, didn't bother locking it. I was just like, I'm not going to press anything to do with the alarm. I'm just going to shut the door, walked back to my house. Bear in mind, this was during the cold snap as well.
Yeah.
So it was like,
not prepared.
it was below freezing. I'm there in a t-shirt, joggers, and bare feet with flip-flops, wandering down the road back towards my house. I'm like, I need to get a 10mm spanner so I can disconnect the battery.
Oh shit, so you have to go home, get the tools, then go back to the
Yeah,
car.
so I walked back to my house, and then I'm like, right, the only spanners I've got are in my garage. My garage had 1 million tyres in it at that point, where we'd just thrown a load of tyres in that we'd got for drift days. So I had to like clamber over, and obviously my garage didn't have a light either.
Oh.
So I'm there with my phone in my flip-flops, trying to like climb over all these things and not
not
damage the Mini and all this kind of stuff. Eventually I got the spanners, took a 10mm out, locked up my garage, and even like I don't even like doing that at night because shutting a garage door is quite loud.
Yeah, of course.
Then I went and put like a jacket on, and I actually put some shoes on. Had to walk to the Lexus, and I was like, again, I don't want to drive it home because I feel like as soon as I open the bonnet, the alarm's going to go off again. Like I was literally like, it felt like I was on a knife edge.
Yeah.
I was like, this thing, it was like defusing a bomb. I was like, this thing's going to go at any point.
So if you kept it on unlocked, is it one of these cars where it will lock itself again after a while?
Don't think so.
So you could have just left it unlocked on the drive.
No, but the alarm would have gone off.
What's unlocked?
It was mental.
Oh, right.
It was fucked.
So it's just going off willy-nilly.
Just lock it, unlock it, doesn't matter.
It's just going off.
Every few minutes it would just go off, completely randomly. It wasn't even fucking raining that night either. I don't know what happened. So in the end, you know the canal by my house?
The
little gravel driveway,
the
little gravel car park. I'm like, right, cool. I'll drive it there, dump it there for the night.
Disconnect the battery.
That's away from houses, so I got a bit of time to open the bonnet and disconnect the battery. So I did all that. I was going to work at 7:30 the next morning, so I was like, cool.
Just wander on down there, get the car.
7:15, wander down there. So by the time I walked home, and that's pretty close to my house, but it's still 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
So I got in at like midnight, just after midnight, freezing my tits off.
Yeah.
Pissed off.
Yeah.
I was fuming by this point. I was just like, fucking car.
Piece of shit car.
Piece of shit. And when I got back to it in the morning, mate, I don't know what goes on there, but that canal car park was rammed.
Really?
Yeah.
What,
and I
7:30 in the morning?
Yeah, 7:15 in the morning.
It was. Maybe there's a school down there.
It was no. I mean, there's an industrial estate across the road. There's plenty of parking there, so maybe it's just people walking up the canal. I don't know. But it was rammed, and I parked like a complete twat the night before because I figured, no one's going to be there in the morning. So I look like a complete cunt.
And then you get in the Lexus.
No one knows it anyway. So the alarm thing. So from that point onwards, every night.
Did you have to park it down the canal?
No. But I'd get home from work, pop the bonnet, disconnect the battery, and that was getting tiresome.
Yeah. I was in my head then. I thought he's parking at the canal every night.
No, I didn't do that.
Just in case the alarm goes off.
So that got real old real quick. Having to disconnect the battery and reconnect every time I wanted to use the bloody car.
Especially in the freezing cold.
Obviously, it was averaging on my commute to work. I was doing 17, 18 miles to the gallon. And bearing in mind, it's a 12-mile commute.
Yeah.
So I was using, way more than a gallon getting to and from work every day. This was when fuel was super expensive as well.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
The fuel gauge didn't work. So I could only so I was basically just filling it up, setting the trip computer, and when it got to 300 miles, I was filling it up again. So it was costing me about 120 quid to do 300 miles every time.
That's an absolute fucking nightmare.
It was a nightmare. Yeah, what else?
And you did that for quite a few months?
Yeah, I did it from probably September to end of December.
It's 4 months.
Yeah, and also, as well, I don't go on a lot. I don't go places that much. But it was like, every couple of weeks I'd go to Bristol, like I'd see the boys down there, or I'd go climbing or whatever. I went to see my sister in Wales a few times.
Yeah.
And because of the gearbox and the gearbox conversion and the diff, 70 miles an hour is like 3,500 RPM.
That isn't nice.
Which is unpleasant.
So if you want to go 80, you're basically screaming the bollocks off
4,000 RPM, yeah.
That's no
which
fun.
is horrible.
And then that's rinsing your fuel.
Exactly, yeah. So just all these things.
Christ,
and then
I'm surprised you did it for that long.
During the cold snap in December as well, the tyres were legal, but only just. They were pretty low.
Yeah. So pretty slidey.
And I remember one day I came off the M4, gone to the 419, and it was cold. It wasn't wet. No, it was wet. Sorry.
Is that where you go down there then?
Yeah, I go up to 15, then across the M4, the 419.
Right.
Anyway, so I remember one morning I came up onto the dual carriageway, just cruising along, third, fourth, into fifth, and I put my foot down. I didn't stamp it down, but I put my foot down in fifth, and it just snapped on me.
Really?
Yeah, at like 60 mile an hour, 55, 60 miles an hour, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and
I can't even fucking drive it.
I can't even drive the fucking thing. I hate it. It's loud. It's uncomfortable. All the bushes are knackered, so it's constantly just going.
Yeah,
on the road. Jointed. I look like a twat the whole time. My neighbours all hate me.
Yeah, you've got no money.
I've got no money because I'm getting rinsed on fuel all the time. So yeah, after I can't remember what was the straw that broke the camel's back actually. What was it? It was I spent Christmas at my sister's house
in Wales.
So I drove all the way there.
Yeah,
used a shitload of fuel, pissed me off. I had to disconnect the battery, and I just looked like a twat. I just felt like a twat.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
Get rid.
I don't care if it's just for 2 months.
Yeah.
I can't drive this anymore. I don't want to drive the brown Volvo.
Nah, it's not the time of year for that.
Not the time of year for that. So I thought, right, it's time to get a cheap man around. Cheap man arounds are difficult these days.
Well, yeah, you say that, but I've been looking recently and the prices are coming down a little bit.
They are,
which is great. We can come on to that a bit later.
Yeah.
So, cheap arounds.
Well, this is the thing. So I feel like everyone who's kind of into cars or has owned cheap, shitty cars before, I feel like everyone has a default they go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, right, okay, give yourself an imaginary budget. You've got £2,000, £1,000, 500 quid or whatever. I feel like everyone's kind of got a go-to, at least a go-to brand where they're like, I'm going to look for one of these.
Mine's a PD130.
Yours, I was going to say, yours must be a Mark IV Golf.
Anything with a PD130, I'll get.
Yeah.
Octavias, Mark IV Golfs, Fabia, Ibiza, anything with that engine. I know I'm alright.
Yeah. And they're fucking cheap. Well, again, everything's a bit crazy now, but they were always really cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
And mine used to be MG Rovers.
Of course.
You go back 10 years ago, you'd be like, right, you got 500 quid to buy a car.
Get an ZR.
I'm going to go buy a ZR, yeah, because you know you'd get one. It probably wouldn't work completely, but
probably have to do a few things to it.
But it would get you to and from A to B. It would be fine.
And even if it lasted 6 months, that's fine. Just buy them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And usually they would last a lot longer.
Yeah. Now,
which is great.
They're not really my go-to anymore.
No.
They've started going up in value, which is good. I'm glad about
because
that.
there's fuck all of them around.
There's hardly any of them left, and they're now getting to the point where they are all
hanging.
The newest ones are 20 years old, pretty much.
And they're going up in value because the market's gone up, but the cars are probably worse in quality.
Exactly, yeah. So not really into that anymore. Mabel is having a great time, by the way.
What's she doing?
She keeps trying to get me to throw this bloody sock.
Yeah. She's nuts.
Shouldn't be playing with this, Mabel.
Just ignore her, basically.
Yeah. Mabel the dog, we should say.
Yeah.
There's not some weird girl under the table trying to play with the sock.
Some weird old woman.
Yeah. So my go-to now for cheap cars is Volvo.
Yeah.
Just, it is.
Yeah.
Because they're reliable.
You've already got a classic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, trying to stick with what you know.
Exactly. So, over the New Year break, I was just like, I can't deal with this bloody Lexus anymore. Can't deal with this Lexus anymore. I need something cheap. So it's going to do 40 miles to the gallon or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my only real thing. I was just like, I just want
fuel efficiency,
comfort, cheap, exactly, and hopefully reliable.
Yeah.
So immediately started looking at Volvos. Wasn't looking specifically for XC70s. I wanted a V70, ideally. I've never been a massive fan of the XC, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd love it because you like streetwise.
That's true. I did have a Rover streetwise, and I love that.
And anything like that with plasticky arches on.
Yeah.
It's got a soft spot in your heart, really.
That is true, but I love that shape V70.
Yeah.
I think it's a great looking car, specifically the facelift.
Yeah.
So 2005 onwards, I think it's a great looking car.
Yeah. It's nice.
So I was looking for V70. I would have taken an S60 or an XC70, and this one came up on eBay.
Yeah.
180,000 miles.
It's a story to this, isn't there?
Oh Christ, yeah, I didn't even think about that. So buying the bloody thing was a nightmare. So yeah, it came up on eBay. I think it was at about £1,000 when I started watching it. A couple of days left.
Yeah.
I messaged the guy and I was just like, look, here's my situation. I just need to keep my around for a few months. It had just been MOT, so I had 12 months MOT, and I was like, look, is it all good?
Yeah. Is it legit a good runner?
Yeah,
Will
exactly.
it do the job?
And the advert was really detailed,
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah, he was honest about, the wing mirror there's a crack in the wing mirror, and the wing mirror doesn't work anymore. It's obviously been smashed at some point. Slight knock on the front suspension, which he thought might have been a drop link or something. I can't remember what else there was. But yeah, it had loads of service
bearing,
history.
I think you told me. It was a rear wheel bearing or something.
Wrist shot. Yeah, so that came out the woodwork later.
Oh, right, okay.
So I was like, okay, sounds like a good deal. I was in Birmingham. I was like, I know I can catch a train up there. I messaged him saying, look, if I win, can you pick me up from the train station? It was all good.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Won it on eBay, I think, for £1,400 or something like
Yeah.
that. And he said, I've got it booked into the garage to have this front knock looked at. Because I was just like, as soon as I won it, I was just like, I'm going to get this thing tomorrow. I was so sick of that fucking Lexus. I was like, I want it now.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got it booked into the garage just for a last minute check over and stuff. So can we say next week? So anyway.
So it's like, okay, a few more days the Lexus will have to do.
Yeah. So I ended up going up to Birmingham on the train. And I hate the train.
Yeah, the train's slow.
I don't know how they work really. Like I felt like an idiot because at the train station I was literally just like
asking someone, where do I go?
Yeah, I was like, where do I go?
What
happened?
Ticket, this orange and white ticket, doesn't tell me fucking anything.
No, exactly.
It just tells me I'm getting a train from this destination to that destination. Doesn't tell me what platform.
Exactly.
Doesn't even tell me,
where the platforms are.
Platforms. Where they are. The underground, I was like, it's the same sort of topic. The underground and the underground is even fucking worse.
I bet it is, yeah.
The map is just like, so I avoid that.
I quite like the London Underground map.
Nah, fuck that.
Well, when I was a kid, we had a board game called the London Underground game.
Right.
And I can't remember how you played it, but you basically had to go around and it was the map.
Right.
And you had to go around it. And
sounds fucking awesome. Anyway, back to the Volvo.
Anyways, I'm on the train, getting into Birmingham. I'm on this horrible train. I get on it at 5:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday or whatever it was.
It's rammed packed.
So obviously we live in Swindon, so it's the main line to London.
Yeah.
So loads of people take the train to London to commute. So I get on at 5:30 in the evening. It's full of wankers,
suit wankers
on their fucking laptops.
Won't move over for you. Yeah.
The whole thing. It's like how I imagine an old newsroom to be like in the 50s.
Everybody tapping away.
Hitting typewriters and
Nobody
stuff.
looking up. Nobody acknowledging anybody around.
It was so loud. And I'd taken a backpack with me with like a change of clothes, like some decent shoes. Because I had all my work clothes on, so I had a change of clothes, change of shoes, like a bottle of water, headphones, I had my iPad as well in case I wanted to watch something or whatever.
Yeah.
Got on the train, and finding my seat was such a head fuck because I didn't know what I was doing.
Doesn't even say that on the ticket, it probably does.
It did, but I didn't know where the seat was. It was like carriage C. I was like,
which one's this?
which one's C? I don't know.
You can tell them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I managed to find my seat. I'm on a window seat on a table of 4 people, all of whom have laptops out.
Yeah.
The train starts moving before I even find it. So by the time I get there, I'm like, whoa. So I get the backpack on the overhead thing. I've got a big coat on, so I take that off, stuff it down the guy, and the guy's like, hey, no worries. He gets up, really nice people. He gets up. I have to sort of clamber over his charge cable for his laptop thing.
Yeah.
And I sit down. As soon as I sit down, I've realised, okay, I'm now boxed in.
Yeah.
Getting
out again.
All of my stuff is overhead.
Yeah.
Haven't got my headphones, haven't got anything. I've just got my work clothes and my phone and my wallet, and that's it. So I end up just sitting there for 40 minutes, just not being able to move or do anything, just scrolling through Facebook and Instagram aimlessly.
Yeah.
Anyway, change of Gloucester, that's all fine, go up to Birmingham. 15 minutes before I arrive at Birmingham, I get a phone call from this dude, who's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm like, oh mate, and I figure, he's just let me know that he's leaving or he's waiting for me or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, mate, how's it going? And he goes, oh, mate, we've got a big problem. I've got a big problem.
You're like, fuck.
Exactly, for God's sake.
Just got here. Oh, just about to get
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? He's just like, man.
Did you book a return or just a single?
No,
just a single.
Yeah, just a single, yeah. And he goes, mate, I'm really sorry. I've just gone to get in the car to drive and it's just not doing anything. It's dead. And I'm like, what do you mean it's dead? And he goes, well, I put the key in the ignition. The dashboard's lit up like a Christmas tree. It's not doing anything. It's just like everything's clicking and flashing at me. Like it's a big problem with the car. And I'm just like,
you're joking.
And at this point, I'm just like, well, there's no point getting angry because
what can I do?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, mate. I'm like, look, I can't really talk. I'm still on the train.
Yeah.
The train is still rammed. I'm on the train. Look, I'm going to get to the station in 15 minutes. I'll give you a call back when I'm at the station.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, cool. I think he said he was going to call the RAC or something. He was like, yeah, I'll call the RAC up. So I'm like, fine. So I get there. And as soon as I get up into the station, Birmingham, I can't remember what it's called, New Street maybe? The main station in Birmingham is massive.
Is it?
Yeah. So I ring him, I'm like, all right, dude, what's the situation? He goes, look, I don't know what's happened, but the car is just freaking out. He's like, I don't know what to do. I've got the RAC on the way, but that could be 3-4 hours. And this is a Tuesday night. I still want to get back from Birmingham somehow. And by this point, it's already, what time was it? It was about 7:15, 7:30, something like that.
Jesus, man.
So I'm like, all right. And at this point, all I'm thinking is, I'm not doing another day in that fucking Lexus. That's all I'm thinking. I was like, I can't do it anymore.
So if the Volvo is out, supposedly dead,
yeah,
what's going through your head?
So I said to the guy, look, let me know what happens to the RAC. I'm like, I am going to get on Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree now and try and find a car in Birmingham. Because
any old thing.
I was like, I don't want, because even if I took the train back to Swindon, I would have had to call you or someone to then give me a lift home.
Yeah, absolute fucking.
Because I obviously didn't drive to the station. So I'm like, look, I'm going to try and find a car. If I find a car tonight,
I'm going to buy it and go home.
Yeah, I was like, are you cool if we just cancel this whole thing?
Did you part with any money?
No. No, it was an eBay auction I'd won, so I hadn't paid a deposit or anything. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm like, cool. So I'm sat there in New Street, wherever it is, just scrolling through my phone, messaging people on Facebook. I basically looked at, right, where can I get to within an hour?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, mate, I was looking at cars in Wolverhampton, I was looking at cars in Leeds, because you can get trains to Leeds that only takes like half an hour.
Shit.
I'm literally just like, where can I get to?
And have somebody meet me at the training station. Ideally.
Exactly, yeah. So I was looking, and again, I was looking at Volvos. I was broadening my search at this point, so I was looking at old Beamers and stuff like this as well. I just need a car with a low MOT, without too many issues in the advert that I can just drive home and drive around in a bit. And I messaged a load of people, and I must have sounded like a complete fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I messaged this one guy who had a really nice looking, an S60, silver S60, again D5 auto, and I was like, and it was cheap. It was like 1,200 quid, 1,250 quid, and I think it had a little scrape down one of the wings or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, the mileage wasn't even that high. It was like 130,000 miles or something.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and he was in Birmingham. No, he was in Wolverhampton, and I messaged him.
Just
on the road. I'm like, I messaged him like, hey mate, is this still available? I need to come and get it tonight. Will you take? Tried to haggle 50 quid or something. Will you take 200 quid? I need you to come and get me from the train station. Please message me ASAP. Never
like, what the fuck is this guy?
Never heard back from the guy.
Desperate for my
help. Mate, I was basically chucking him money. Like, I would have.
You should have said, I'll give you an extra 50 quid.
Oh mate, honestly, I would have at that point.
Yeah. Well,
he never got back to me. No one got back to me, which is kind of fair enough. And then after about an hour, the guy rang me back saying, "Oh, good news, the RAC have got someone in the area. He's coming. He's going to be here in 15 minutes."
Happy days.
So I'm like, cool.
Sort of.
So I'll just wait to see what RAC says. All the restaurants and cafes and stuff in the train station were closed or closing, so I couldn't get anything to eat or anything. I was pretty hungry by this point. What did I take with me?
Probably a little beige with some Robinson squash bottle.
I did have my Robinson squash bottle. I was just sat there in the end. I had to charge my phone up, so my phone was running out of battery, and some of the benches in Birmingham New Street have got USB.
Oh, right,
so I was able to charge it up. I got asked by crackheads for spare change, I think 6 times.
Well, you do have that look about you.
And the first guy did genuinely give my change to me. He had about £1 on me. I was just like, there you go, mate, it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then, oi! And then they, and then that was a dog, sorry. For audio listeners, that wasn't just me having a little
little attack.
That was a dog. So, and then he rang me and he's like, look, RAC guys come out. He said, battery's fucked. Battery's dead.
Easy fix.
He's like, look, I spent most of the day cleaning the interior today because it was a bit grubby. All the interior lights were on. He's like, look, these are quite sensitive to that. It was an old battery. He's like, so he's jump started it. He's checked the alternator. Everything's fine. And the guy was just like, look, I'm just going to pay him to install a new battery. He's got a battery on the van. It's going to cost me 180 quid. He's like, if you're still happy for me to come and get you, I just want to get this thing gone now.
So he wants it gone.
He wants it
gone. And he's giving you a free
I didn't even say, this was after, the day before, you were told you went to the garage to have that knock looked at.
Yeah.
They said the front suspension's fine, but they were like, they did a bit of a health check and they're like, one of the rear shocks is weeping a bit. So, and that's probably going to need to be done in the next 6 months.
So he's done that as well?
No. He said to me, look, do you want to just take 150 quid off the price and call it even? I'm like, fucking right. A rear shock's one of those like 50 quid.
Nice.
And it's an easy job, I think.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I'm probably not long enough to bother to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So I already had 150 quid discount. I've just got a free battery off the RAC.
Yeah. So that's 270 quid.
Yeah, exactly. And then, he eventually came and got me at about...
So you actually got it for under £1,000? If you take those things...
No, it worked out... If you take the...
How much did you pay for it?
I paid 1,300 quid for it.
Oh, right.
With the battery. But it came with 3/4 of a tank of diesel.
That's worth a lot of money.
And that gave me 350 miles.
And you were just like, I'm winning at life.
Yeah, so I was like, I basically just saved another 110, 120 quid in fuel I would have had to put in the Lexus as well.
And by the time that you've used all of that fuel, that's not going to be 120 quid's worth.
Exactly.
So your quid's in all round the table.
So I worked out, if you take into account the diesel, the battery, everything else, I'm probably in for about 1,100 quid.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is fucking great.
Bargain. Especially today.
So anyway, so I drove home that night, drove great, sat on the motorway 80, 90, 70, that's
Heated seat on.
Heated seat on, yeah. I brought my little FM Bluetooth adapter, so I was listening to my music and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've now done 1,000 miles on it.
That's good.
Yes, yesterday it ticked over 1,000 miles since I bought it.
No issues?
Wouldn't quite go that far.
Go on then.
Well, it had about 2 weeks ago, I was driving to work, I was a little bit late, so I was on the motorway going...
A bit faster than you should.
Yeah, not crazy, but outside lane of the motorway speeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this horrible, not vibration, this horrible, juddery, vibration-y type thing, and really horrible noise, like, ooh, ooh, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh Christ.
Wheel bearing, was it also?
That's what I thought. I was like, it's got a fuck wheel bearing. But then I got to work and one of the driver's side front brake was smoking like a bastard.
Oh shit.
So I was like, all right, okay, well that's fine. At least it's not wheel bearing, it's obviously a sticky caliper. So I did 2 front calipers and pads, ordered those off eBay. Brand new calipers, for 2 calipers was 60 quid.
A bargain.
For brand new, they're probably not the best, but they come with a 5-year warranty and they're fucking brand new. I did have discs as well, but I ordered the wrong discs.
2 for 60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Matt this week did calipers and pads. Tried to do discs, but I ordered the wrong ones, like a retard.
Nice.
And then it did go into limp home mode a couple of weeks ago again. I was on the slip road going to the M4, buried the throttle.
Didn't like it.
It went to the red line, and as soon as it got to the red line, it just
it went, oh, no Ben, no more.
Engine light came on, went into limp mode, did a code read, and it was like fuel pressure too high, fuel pressure sensor too high, fuel pressure sensor too low, and the MAF sensor was out.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm like, it might have a leaky injector, it might have a MAF sensor that's on the way out, but to be honest...
Easy fix, don't redline it.
Exactly, that's all I've been doing, I'm just adjusting my driving.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
You don't need to redline your Volvo XC70 now.
So I've just been, I love it.
Good.
I absolutely love it. The novelty still hasn't quite worn. I've had it for a month now, almost. Yeah, pretty much exactly a month.
The novelty of what?
The novelty of just being able to get in a car in the morning and it start and it not be
piss you off.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing with the Lexus is that because of that welded diff,
It's instantly, as soon as you come off your drive,
as soon as it starts moving, I'm just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah. And then you start driving it and it's just like trying to beat you up.
Yeah.
Smashing you around.
Yeah.
Knocking like hell.
Yeah, it just is.
Laughing at you as you put your foot down a little bit. Going,
yeah.
Don't
get me wrong, give it a month or so and I'll
probably... You'll be skinning it again.
Yeah, I'll probably be like,
yeah.
I'll take the Lexus home for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a little bit of fun in it and this kind of stuff.
That's what the Lexus is for.
Exactly.
It's definitely not for daily.
No, it's horrible.
Like, it's a toy to take out when it's a nice day.
Horrible.
Yeah. You've got some trauma there.
Yeah, well, that car's, as you know, that car's not been particularly good to us since we bought it. The guy who sold it to us was a total fucking con artist.
Yeah.
I sent him a message. I'm not really like.
This is the Lexus, by the way, not the
the Lexus. So going back to the Lexus. So I'm not usually like this, but I got so pissed off after we discovered how bad the Lexus was.
Yeah.
Like a month or so after we bought it.
Yeah.
I sent the guy a message on Facebook beforehand, just being like, what did I say to him? I was just like, you said it was a little bit rough, not a complete fucking illegal death trap, you asshole.
Did you actually?
Yeah, thanks for that, mate. He never responded, obviously.
He's probably sat there going,
yeah, fuck these
counting
guys.
his fucking money.
Yeah.
I mean, that car it's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. I mean,
It's good for drifting, or is it?
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
It's not quite there, is it?
The drift that we did in December was...
Did you get through the clutch on it?
No, so we don't know what clutch it's got in it. We were told it's a twin plate from an M5, which is quite a common clutch to use in that conversion.
It's got a 5 Series gearbox, right?
Yes, from a 530D, I believe.
Okay.
And the M5 clutch is quite a common one to use in that gearbox, and they're not that expensive, so it's not unreasonable to think it does have an M5 clutch. But
what state it's in is another question.
Yeah, we just started immediately beating the shit out of it as soon as we got there, and then Jake looped it, spun out, kept it in second, and just immediately dumped the clutch, and the wheels did not move. And we sat there for about...
Well, thinking that he was spinning up.
You sat there for probably, it felt like a long time. In reality, it probably wasn't that long, but I'd say it was a good 3 or 4 seconds on the red line in second.
With nothing
happening.
That's bad.
And then at that point, blue smoke was pissing out the back of it. It fucking stuck. So he came in immediately. And
brutal.
We were just like, oh, that's it. The day's over, we're fucked. I've had a clutch slip like that before quite badly. I don't think those boys have had it like that before. I was like, let's just leave it to
chill out,
cool down.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about ripping the gearbox out. Because we'd only been there for about an hour and a half. It was still only maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Down in Taunton, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, get the car out, we're going to take the gearbox out. Oh, is there a motor factor so we can buy an M5? I'm like, whoa, everybody just calm down.
Calm down.
Let's just chill out, we'll have a coffee, have some food.
Let the car just chill out a little bit.
Give it an hour, we'll miss the next 2 turns that we have, and then we'll see what it's like. And then, we gave it an hour or so to cool down. I whizzed up and down the road, stuck it in fifth and buried my foot to make sure that it wouldn't slip, and it was fine. We were just careful with it, we were careful with it for the rest of the day, didn't really do any clutch kicks, and it was fine. And I think Matty's still a little bit worried about it, because the next drift day we want to do is probably going to be Santa Pod.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to go all the way to Santa Pod, pay the money to do a day at Santa Pod
for it to fail again.
So,
and he's a mechanic.
And I'm pretty confident that we can get at least a couple more days out of it. It was just, we were all being so brutal with the clutch.
Yeah, it just got fucking hot.
Because we figured it's an M5 twin plate.
Yeah.
It's more than strong enough.
Yeah.
So we can beat the shit out of this thing. So we were all being really brutal with it, and then Jake just smoked it, literally smoked it. I think if we just take it a bit easy and aren't too brutal with it, it should be fine. But
see what's to come. Definitely some more coilovers you were mentioning earlier.
we've got replacement springs for it ready to go on.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
we've got much stiffer springs going on. We've got the handbrake does not work.
Is it got a normal handbrake or a hydro or anything?
It's got the GS has a
Is that one with the foot pedal?
foot parking brake like a Mercedes.
Yeah.
So we bought a handbrake mechanism from I think it came off a Supra, bolted it to the centre console, reinforced a bit of metal, bolted it there. I think we used basically that.
Yeah, I can't imagine you doing anything.
Yeah, I did. I put some weld on there.
Well done.
Put a little. I did contribute.
Yeah, okay.
And then we rerouted the parking brake cable into this Supra handbrake, but it just did nothing. Like we adjusted it to the point where it was
tight as hell,
and even then you ripped it up, and it would barely slow the car down.
Really?
Yeah, so we're not quite sure why that is, because a lot of people they do that. Because the other way of doing it is, if you wanted to put a hydro on the back, you'd have to do a twin caliper setup, which is going to be best part of $1,000 probably. Yeah. The car's not worth it.
No. And you can probably cope without it, can't you?
No, you
sort of drift days you're going on.
No, we do need it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we've got new handbrake cables, Project Mu shoes, which are like proper drift spec brake shoes.
Right, okay.
So we need to do that at some point. So at some point we need to get up in the air, do the springs, do the brake shoes, do the handbrake cables. There's one other thing that we need to do to it, so I can't remember what it is.
Sell it. Take it to the scrap yard.
Yeah.
Before the rear axle falls off.
That's not solid.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because when you bought it, it was not solid.
Oh no, it was a complete fucking nightmare. it was Papi Macho.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's all in patch.
That's reassuring. Yeah.
So we'll do it. We need to go do a drift day in that at some point soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We were going to do one at the end of February, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it ready for that. So it'll be March now, I think.
Well, even better. Weather's better.
So
hopefully.
I just dating it was so horrible.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do that at all, ever.
No.
Even for a week.
No.
Even if I had to cycle to work for a week, I probably would. Because that thing's a fucking death trap.
Yeah.
And cycling's free.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, but
probably more like, I don't know, more like the diamond push bike. I might be. I'm not very good at driving push bikes. I'm not very good at driving rear-wheel drive cars.
Well,
track record.
Yeah, that's
for another episode.
That's a story for another podcast.
Yeah. I'm just going to see how long we've been doing this.
Yeah, well, should we take a little comfort break? Maybe get another cup of tea or something?
Yeah, well, let's maybe wrap this one up. We're on 43 minutes.
Are we?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 43 minutes, 45 seconds.
So we're good about having this one? Yeah. Okay.
Let's wrap this one up.
Well, so, yeah, anything that you wanted to bring up? Anything that you wanted to discuss?
Not massively, no. I think it's just good to sit down and have a chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about the podcast. I think this is a cool format. It's much easier because when we're doing the YouTube videos, we haven't really got a clue what we're doing. And we've been doing it for like 4 years, on and off, so be it.
Yeah.
But we haven't really developed a workflow that works.
No.
Because we're always like, oh, we need to mention this, oh, we need to mention that. Then we're like, oh, fuck, we didn't do this, or we forgot to press the fucking record button on the camera, and it's all just a bit bitty.
That has happened a lot.
It loads. And then we come to the edit, it's like, oh, fucking audio shit, blah, 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 blah. It's crap. Whereas this, it's a controlled environment. Sit down, set it all up, press record, and just talk.
Just chat.
We don't have to worry about outside variables such as wind or rain or anything like that.
Yeah,
And plus, we'll just get hang out.
let's just go back to the Lexus Toyota video we did. Where literally, we'll put that on the YouTube channel as a short actually, because that is ridiculous. First video we've shot in about a year.
Yeah, I fucked it up. I fucked up with the audio.
Bear in mind, we have an external microphone
Which we're using right now.
Which we're using right now. With a dead cat on it.
Yeah, and it was windy and rainy.
It was windy, rainy, and I say to you, oh shit, before we start doing anything, we should put the dead cat on. And you just go,
no, I'll be alright.
You'll be alright. There's no effort in putting the dead cat. It's not like we had to disconnect
It
it.
was probably like in my pocket or something, or like in the bag next to me, and I was like, no, I'm fine.
So the whole video is barely audible at all. It's horrible.
You can go watch it if you really want.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put yourself through it. I mean, it's not that bad.
It's not bad.
It's got some nice cinematic shots of Jake Saristo.
Yeah.
And obviously your heap of shit Lexus.
We do need to do an update on both of those.
And we will.
because again, yeah, for those who don't know, and for those who've got this far on the podcast,
Thank you.
So the same time that we bought the GS, Jake bought his
Lovely.
Aristo.
Lovely.
So basically the same car, but it's quite an interesting comparison. His is a lot nicer than ours. It was basically showroom fresh still.
And yours was basically ready for the scrapyard.
Oh, 100%. It should have been in the scrapyard.
At the time of purchase.
Yeah.
So
it's better now, but it should have been. It shouldn't have passed an MOT.
No.
The MOT was definitely a dodgy
one, yeah.
So you got the same body shell, basically the same car, one with the V8, one with the 2J.
Yeah.
Both factory autos, but both manual swap. Ours was already swapped. He has done the swap himself.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same car, one cheap way of doing it and one expensive way of doing it. So it's actually quite a nice comparison. We'll have to do a proper update.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little video just to introduce the car more than
Yeah.
we didn't really go into detail. But, so going back to kind of doing the podcast.
Sorry, yeah.
That's fine. Like I said, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And like, we just get to hang out.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything else.
No.
Run around, have a drink, have a coffee, whatever, and chat about cars.
Exactly.
Chat shit, basically.
Chat absolute shit.
And
Which we're pretty good at.
We're very good at that. We've got a lot of practice in that.
Yeah.
And the format is we'll do 3 podcasts a month and then 1 feature video.
I think we'll aim for 1 a week.
1 a week.
Yeah.
And then a feature video.
Once a month.
Which is obviously like our usual kind of stuff, once a month. Because it's not that we don't want to do more videos, it's just that the videos are fucking hard.
Yeah, and we like I say, we haven't got the workflow down yet.
No.
We don't know what we're doing, even though we've been doing it for a while. We
Yeah.
still don't really know what we're doing. We still need to get a few bits of kit.
Yeah.
Really, like, you know.
We've lost kit along the way. Like, we usually get all these great ideas and then we don't do anything for 6 months. We lose kit.
We don't know what we're doing. We completely forget how to do stuff.
Yeah, and then we sit in front of the cameras and we're just like, are we doing this all right? And when we get to the editing suite, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
So, limiting that to 1 a month.
Yeah, I think
is manageable.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we can get to a point where we know what we're doing and we're doing a manageable amount, that's consistent,
we can get into a rhythm.
Exactly. So
and
that's the plan.
And also, you, our viewers, thank you, all of you, can get, regular content from us.
Which has never happened before.
Which has never happened for us. We've only put like 5 out in a week or 5 out in 6 months. Well, that NC500 series, just to quickly touch on that, filmed it all in 5 days, 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
And during the trip, we were going, we'll get home, and I was going, I'll edit this. As soon as we get home, I'll edit this and we'll get it out in a couple of weeks, and I'll release it all at the same time.
No. Remember, the plan was to do 1 a week.
Yeah, but I wanted to edit it all at the same time.
I see.
Get it done. Then we'll release them
once a week
for 7 weeks.
Yeah, because we were like, we've got 7 weeks worth of content, so then we can film some other stuff, and then we can, kind of what we're saying now, we can kind of get into a rhythm of uploading regular content.
But because we're absolute idiots when it comes to filming and editing and workflow, those videos took weeks to edit.
It took basically a year.
It did. Like, one of those videos probably took. I mean, you used to come around my house.
Yeah.
When I lived in Old Town.
Yeah.
We'd order a Papa John's.
Yeah.
We'd sit down, and after like the 3rd episode that we'd done, which probably took us 3 months, the 4th episode, bearing in mind we're just over halfway through the trip, we sit down and eat the pizza and we go, I can't be
fucking asked to do this.
I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, it got to the point where we'd open up the timeline and both of us would just be sat there like this.
Not doing it.
Can't
do it. So we don't just watch the videos on YouTube. And then by the end of the night we go, I'll try again next week.
Yeah.
We come and have another pizza. We do like maybe an hour's work.
Yeah, which would equate to most of the time
was like 2 minutes worth of footage.
Well, most of the time it wasn't even putting anything on the fucking timeline. It was literally just like, right, what did we do this? Because as soon as we got 3-4 months, we were like, I can't remember what happened that day.
Yeah.
So then we'd have to watch through, and we had gigabytes of footage. Just
shitloads.
Hours and hours and hours.
And like we said, we couldn't remember what we did on the day, so we ended up watching all of the footage.
Just us.
Just to get an idea of the timeline of the day.
Just one of us or 2 of us chatting absolute shit for 15 minutes to the GoPro in the car.
Yeah. And
with no reference of where we are, what we're doing.
And then we probably use like 30 seconds of that 15-minute clip. So if you times that by 100 clips for the day,
oh god,
maybe even more, it took a long time. So we weren't doing that again. Well, we do road trips again, but we won't be filming them to that extent.
No, maybe just do like if we do a road trip again, we'll just do it as one video,
Yeah.
nice and simple.
Oh yeah, and we'll just keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
No fucking around like, oh, let's talk about it.
And also, because the NC500 was such a complete fucking nightmare, we ended up filming stuff that we just couldn't be bothered to edit.
Oh,
So-
so loads of footage.
When we went to the drift championship,
We didn't even. I've deleted all that.
we haven't got that anymore.
That was on my memory card. This is how we're organised now, right? That was what? Over a year ago?
18 months ago.
18 months ago? The footage was still on the memory card,
Oh god.
right? And I only used my camera again the other day when I was doing something else. And I looked on what was the memory card and it was BBC on there. I just thought, I don't mind this. Delete, blanket delete. You know, so like all of that effort on the day, get all those nice shots, just fuck them off.
Yeah.
And not use them. There's no point editing it out because who's going to watch BBC from 2021?
Yeah, but 18 months ago, no, it's not going to happen.
So that's why the new formats come out. You notice that we've got new branding as well.
Yeah, we're just trying to clean it up a bit.
There's loads of our back catalogue because it's all absolute shite.
Yeah.
And we're not proud of it and we just want to fuck it off and start a bit fresh.
Yeah.
New format, new branding, podcasts and videos.
So
we see what we do.
our goal this year is to try and stick to a schedule and grow some more subscribers.
Yeah.
We're just under 2,000
So
subscribers.
like 7 under 2,000.
Yeah.
And we've
Been
been
there.
like that for like months.
Yeah, well, probably 2 years.
Our YouTube analytics came through every month, which they do, come through an email every month.
Yeah.
We gained 1 subscriber this month. I'm pretty sure we lost 2 last month. So 2 steps back, 1 step forward. So
Yeah.
the idea is to grow the channel, get
Yeah.
some more subscribers, get a bit more of a routine. We also want to venture into the world of YouTube Shorts, which is going to be your responsibility.
Yeah, we're going to try and do that. And again, that's the other thing, like breaking up what we do.
Yeah, our content needs to be a bit more varied,
Mm.
and that's what we're going for. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you. Again, if you've got this far, either listening or watching,
massive thumbs up.
thank you very much. You know, questionable life choices maybe, but we do appreciate it.
And there'll be another one next week.
Yeah, there will be another
And
one.
we've got
next week.
topics and all sorts of stuff lined up to talk about stuff.
That's the other thing. We need to figure out the format of the podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean today we can sit down and just chat and see where it goes.
Absolute shite.
Probably. But obviously if like there's things you want us to talk about or there's things that you see in the world about cars and stuff that you think, oh that'd be fun to talk about, then fucking put it in the comments.
Yeah,
Let's
just
talk
put it in the
about it.
comments. That's the other thing is
Let's talk about
that
anything.
for the last couple of years we haven't been paying attention to any comments on YouTube, but that will change now.
I mean I'll occasionally be going and putting the like thing on.
Yeah.
But that's it. Not replying or anything. So yeah, let's wrap it up
Let's do it.
then. See you on the next one.
Yeah, what do we need to sign off with?
Like, subscribe.
Yeah,
We don't need to say that.
it is what it
That's
is.
what everybody says.
It's 2020.
Just watch the next podcast. That'd be
Yeah,
cool. We
yeah.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
Right, nice one.
Let's do it.
See you later.
Yeah. Chaos.